Welcome back to the Shankly Sessions, folks. This is the Liverpool podcast we bring you each and every week on the Dynamo Podcast Network. This is your Tottenham versus Liverpool preview. Certainly a very interesting fixture indeed. And Liverpool will have knowledge of how Chelsea and Man City have done at the time. Hearing today, Chelsea were looking to postpone their fixture, but the FA denied it. So it's hard to understand really what the parameters are at the moment. A number of other teams getting their fixtures postponed, but yet Chelsea not allowed. Interesting tie this one, Conte versus Klopp. Conte still bedding in at Spurs, trying to figure out his pattern of play and players and all that kind of stuff. But certainly prior to them not being able to play their last 3 or 4 fixtures or whatever it is, he certainly had them working a lot better. Two varying styles here, obviously, real contrasting styles here. So it should be very interesting. Klopp matching up against Conte. Obviously, for us, it will be vital for Liverpool to continue their league form, staying in touch with Man City and stuff like that, and keeping the pressure on. In terms of current form, Spurs at the moment in the Premier League have 3 wins, a draw, and 2 losses. In all competitions, it's 4 wins, a draw, and a loss. For Liverpool, league form and all competitions form is the same. 6 wins out of 6 on a really good run of form here at the moment. In terms of team news, let's go for Spurs first. Son is believed to be one of the players who's been affected by the recent COVID stuff, so maybe out of the visit for Liverpool. While Lucas, Emerson Royal, Olivier Skip, Brian Gill and Dan Scarlett will be assessed after having tested positive. Christian Romero, as we know, is out till the new year through injury. Sergio Reguilon is back in contention, and Giovanni Lo Celso will be back in contention as well after overcoming a knee problem. Harry Kane is in the side, obviously, who has scored only once in the last 6 meetings against Liverpool. So his form against Liverpool really isn't great. In terms of Liverpool, the flip side of this, Salah, who is banging form at the moment, the player in the world at the moment, the player in the Premier League at the moment. And if he picks up a goal or an assist today, that will be 16 games in a row that he's had some sort of a goal contribution, beating Jamie Vardy's previous record of 15, which he equaled the other day against Newcastle. In terms of Liverpool's team news, suspected positive test for Van Dijk, Fabinho and Jones means they will probably miss out unless one of those is a false positive or something comes true. Divock Origi, Nat Phillips, Harvey Elliott and Adrian all remain sidelined through injury. But there's also been talk this morning that Thiago and Jordan Henderson may have tested positive as well. So in terms of these lineups, we'll give you possible lineups, guys, but we're not too sure. I mean, we won't know until about an hour and a half or an hour before the game what the actual lineup is and what the net effect of COVID and this Omicron breakout has been. In terms of Tottenham, you're looking at Lloris, Sanchez, Dyer, Davis, Tanganga, Ndombele, Højbjerg, Reguilon, Lo Celso, Kane and Bergwijn. That's their potential starting 11, but again, we won't know. For Liverpool, Alisson, Trent, Matip, Konate, Robertson, Ox, Henderson, Thiago, Salah, Jota, and Mane. Now, if we can field that side, I'll be reasonably comfortable in terms of the game. If we can't field that side, then we may or may not have a problem. Obviously, Fabinho and Van Dijk are a huge loss, but you would have the confidence in there that Matip and Konate, they were very good the other day. In terms of that midfield of Ox, Henderson and Thiago, if we can get into that midfield, I'll be okay. Especially with Henderson playing in the holding role like what Fabinho does. If we can't field that midfield, then we have to switch it around even more. I suppose Keita could come in, who played decent the other day, really was a ball of energy when he came on the other evening against Newcastle. And if we have the 3 boys up front, that's okay. And obviously Firmino's there as an option as well, who came on the other day. So it should be a reasonably strong lineup, but again, we just don't know with this testing and everything that has to go on at the moment. There's so many last minute changes and stuff like that. We seen it yesterday with the Villa game just being called off 2 hours before the game. Most fans would have been nearly up at the ground at that stage, and especially if there's any travelling fans from here in Ireland heading over, they would have been over there already. So it's heartbreaking when the game gets called off like that. In terms of a prediction, I'm going to go with 3-1 to Liverpool. But again, it depends on what the lineup looks like, and we'll know in a couple of hours what that is like. I think the danger for Liverpool is obviously Harry Kane. He's always the danger. Son, if he plays, would obviously be the danger as well. But they need to keep an eye on the likes of Bergwijn as well, and Lo Celso, really really good players, and Hallberg in the midfield, who's a really really strong player as well. So it should be a real test in the midfield for Liverpool today. But this is one of these games that before you would think it's a big game within the season. But I think for Liverpool have to start approaching these games now just like they're another game, basically. And until you're coming up against like the Cities or the Chelseas or the Uniteds or, that statistical top four, if you like. All these other games are just other games that we have to play our game, get the results. Don't be complacent. But we'll remain to see. But I'm thinking Liverpool 3-1. In terms of the goals, probably Harry Kane for Spurs, and for Liverpool, Mane has to get one or two today, doesn't he? Mane with two and Salah with one. Give Salah one and give him an assist, and an assist from Trent. That's what I'm thinking of today. But until next time, head over to YouTube, Dynamo Podcast Network, Spotify for audio versions of the show. Let's do this, Red Men. Let's keep this run continuing, even through all these tough times with COVID and Omicron. Till next time, a pleasure.